All right, we're in
And
the
we do
draft.
get into draft.
Let's see what we've got. I've got my notepad out here.
The Silas
Silas.
ban comes through. That is a first time ban from Slime. And from what you heard from the last game, it seems that teams might actually prefer to play on the red side as well.
Yeah, team's really
We do,
valuing that last counter pick.
we also see the Jax ban come through. Very solid ban. We've seen it come through. It's a pick that will always work in most situations, especially against a team that has been picking auto attackers. It can be very effective.
Yeah, a lot of teams who like to prioritize Trundle tend to ban the Jax because Jax, of course, a great counter. The Echo coming out, that was a scouted ban taken from Slime's round 2 match.
And the Pantheon ban from Slime, just trying to take away the lane bully. Same with the Darius. Lane bully is taken away from Lost Riddlers. And then the Ornn scaling pick is taken away. We have seen a couple Ornns being played. Similar to Gnar, it was mostly more rising in priority on the third day, however. Slime instantly picking the Azir. The scaling of the Azir is availability, and the Yuumi hover comes out from Lost Riddlers.
Yeah, we've seen a few joke Yumi hovers. I doubt it's going to be locked in, but if it was locked in, we could definitely see it paired with some more active around the map champions like your assassins, like the Talon LeBlanc. You could also see it with champions like Hecarim or with Gwen. But nope, we're just going to get the Scion.
Very safe, very standard. Scaling, lots of health.
I believe this is
Massive
Los
piece of
Riddler's
demolished.
third time playing Scion as well, so definitely a
Yes,
favorite
and
for
it's
them.
going back to the same comfort that they keep picking time and time again. But we saw it not actually work out for those who know, so it might not work out here, but seems like they do want to just go with the comfort for now.
And they're going to go
And they
back to
go
the
with the Xerath
Xerath
as
as well.
well.
Now, last time it was Jag who was playing the Xerath, but Jag, of course, being subbed out, so this is going to be somebody new on Xerath. Perhaps just picking it to counter the Azir. Xerath, of course, has a little bit longer range than Azir does, so um, if he can find some meaningful poke, it could be a good lane.
And Slime going for another ADC again, and this time it's the Varus. We have been seeing the Varus in very high priority in terms of lane dominance in pro play. It might be able to translate here, but he could just be put into a very harsh matchup. Hover of the Graves is a very unique pick and does have the ability to work here, but then they switch it up with the Nunu hover instead.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess just a joke. Nunu Hover mocking the other team for picking in the round 1 game, and it will just be the set. So, at the end of the day, I feel like we've got some team comps that we expected from both sides. Cody, of course, was the one who piloted the Caitlyn in their round 1 game, so a well versed marksman player. The Azir, the scaling threat, can also move around the map somewhat quickly. And then the Tom Kench, which we've seen a few times. And of course, on the other side, we have the two side lane beefcakes paired with the Xerath for that wave clear. Keep in mind, this is Ultra Full Fearless, meaning all 12 champions that were present in this game will not be available for Game 2.
Which will leave up quite a few more picks available for game 2, considering
Yeah,
Azir
Yorick.
and Varus haven't necessarily been that high priority.
Yorick and Trundle, the two highest prior champions in the tournament, both still available and up for grabs for that Game 2.
It was completely skipped in the last series, so maybe teams have come up with an idea that can actually counter it. We are yet to see. Now, you have Set and Sion. Yes, the Xerath has a lot of range, but they're not necessarily on the same wavelength. Like the Xerath, if you can keep it safe, can still follow up with its range on the damage, but with a Sion and Set, you might be looking at some dive threats, but you don't really have enough a diver with it now. And to be honest, with Varus probably going to a side lane with the Azir being mid, one of these two lanes are going to have a rough time against the ranged matchup. Meanwhile, the other player is going to be into a Tom Kent, who can just get through lane phase, protect the Varus and the Azir, and the team probably will just be able to run it down a lane. This team has grouped up in both of their matches as the main priority, and this team fits that ideal perfectly.
Yeah, the prediction is out. Slime on blue side, Los Riddlers on red side. So go gamble your life away. I do want to mention that in their last round series, Los Riddlers did start their game with a significant deficit, but were able to claw their way back to the victory. So we've seen some tenacity from this team before. Definitely going to be an exciting match, I think.
Now, the likelihood is very low, but last year we did see Tank Azir be played. If they find themselves in a very tough situation, especially with the Xerath potentially being able to lane bully the Azir, we could potentially see some callbacks to Tank Azir in this game.
Yeah, and of course the problem with Tank Azir being that if you're gonna go it, you have to commit to it from minute one because you have to take Grasp of the Undying as your choice of rune. But then that build, of course, the Liandry's, and then it was Abyssal Mask, I believe, was the second item, and then a Zanya's maybe, something like that. The problem with that build, of course, no mana, so gonna be really tough to pull that off these days. But maybe there's still a chance. Could also opt for the Frozen Heart, of course. Yeah, it does have the mana in that item. But we will be hopping into this match shortly.
We've also seen Tank Varus from time to time. Both picks that they have picked that are ranged have the availability of a tank build that we have seen previously. That's probably not what they're actually going to go, as we see lethal tempo and we see fleet footwork. So that almost indicates that we're not going to see tank variants of both. Now, it is also interesting to see that the Varus has gone for the cleanse. Wanted to make sure that it has that extra safety net for himself, rather than going with the TP. So he's going to need to make sure that he's not forced out of lanes and can get some good back timings compared to the wave situations.
Yeah, and I do realize just now that the reason why it was so quiet before is because I turned off both in-game music and champion select music, which I had on for the other games. So, whoops, my bad. Let's take a look at these runes here.
So far, the Xerath seems to be going to the bot lane, and Azir and Varus seem to both want to go mid lane.
Yeah, this is maybe a little bit of miscommunication. What the fuck are they doing?
Maybe the rules have been forgotten.
Maybe they have. Maybe they have. Of course, I won't do anything about it. This doesn't impact the game in any way, which I don't believe it will. But yeah, we've seen two teams now. Not actually. We've seen two different teams in the jungle at some point in the first image, which is of course not allowed.
Contention's a set. That's just a beefcake matchup at this point. They're both going to be getting massive shielding and probably just punching and licking each other in the face. Xerath reveals himself to be in the bot lane against the Varus, and it's quite late to get a back off to switch lanes at this point, with the wave's starting to come into mid already.
No, what do you mean? They can just run through the jungle like they did last time.
If only it was that simple. The lane matchups will be known at this point. It is interesting to see that the Varus is into the Xerath, but it's probably actually a better matchup than the Azir because of the range advantage not necessarily being as true, because if the Xerath does cast its abilities, the Varus can just simply auto-attack back.
Oh, is that the Radiant Serpent set skin?
I think so.
Laugh at this user. Spent a lot of money.
The Q landing on the Varus is good poke. Top lane, both players are slowly whistling down. The set gets level 2 first. Might look to use it, but playing it very safe so far in most of the lanes. Varus zoning off the Xerath from some of the wave already. Azir getting good use out of the range advantage. Nice sidestep from the Tom Kench, to be fair, on the set. relatively standard laning coming out from the start of the game.
Yeah, neither side able to find super significant advantages. The Xerath should be able to pick up some of these minions.
The Tahm Kench, flash from the Varus and the Xerath, both flashing each other's abilities. Both very low, but Varus probably looking to stay to clear the wave and then back due to a lack of mana.
Yeah, but of course, this is one of those issues, is that the Xerath has that teleport and the Varus doesn't. If the Xerath TP comes back in time before Varus can shove this, Varus is going to have to take a bad reset. Let's see.
Does get the wave to somewhat crash, but Xerath should be able to clear all of it back.
Yeah, surprised that Xerath didn't try to walk up and freeze that with no TP on the Varus, but yeah, the Varus took an extra turret shot, so the Xerath saw an angle to go for the stun. Varus had to flash it.
Welltorium coming out from the set and gets the first blood onto the Tahm Kench very instantly. The flash wasn't quite what the Tahm Kench wanted there. Sion is struggling with the mana in the mid lane, and he's probably going to struggle to also find grass procs onto the Azir's range advantage in the mid lane. So at this point, it's mostly just surviving. Xerath will start to look for a roam, potentially here.
Yeah, maybe just trying to help Sion shove out the wave. I doubt there's a kill angle here with Sion having no mana.
And the Varus won't be able to respond, so Xerath somewhat unnoticed here. Might be able to make a play, but misses the stun. The sidesteps go from the Azir as well. Flash is also available. No play truly able to be found, and Xerath's just going to have to walk back and potentially lose out on some CS here.
Yeah, not only does Xerath not help the Sion shove out, but also doesn't lane swap either, so we're just going to have some more of the same here, mid and bot struggling. Of course, getting that solo kill helps even things out, 4.5k to 4.5k gold, but I would say so far you would have to favor Slime just a little bit.
Tahm Kench is struggling just a little bit, but probably way better off than the Sion in terms of being able to survive against the set. But we've already seen the one solo kill come out, however. Nice trade
Ultimate for the set.
The Abyssal Dive comes out. The Tahm Kench is able to be safe from the ult and does now find himself against the set without ult, but the flash comes in from the set. Amazing trade to start it off. Might go for the turret drive, but decides to back off. The Tahm Kench is now very low, and if that wave gets under that turret, the set might just be able to walk off a kill. This Sion is still trying to survive on very little mana. He's going to now look for the back. Xerath isn't able to find the stun on the bot side onto Cody.
Yeah, this Sion really struggling. Having no mana is now down about 10 CS after that wave crashes in, so... Ooh, ult lands for the Varus.
Oh, Xerath kill. A bit of an overextension there from the Xerath, really, with the lack of mana. I'm not really sure why does Xerath decide to step up so far with an XP disadvantage and with a lack of mana.
Well, hey, you know, if he dodged the Q, maybe he actually could have gotten the kill there. It was relatively close.
It looks like the Sion and the Azir might be going for roam, but Sion backs off relatively quickly, and the Azir just places a ward on the grubs as well.
Yeah, both teams have the grubs warded, so unless there's a random solo kill again, I'd be surprised to see either team take those anytime soon.
We do get to see the double Tiamat from the Sion and the set. Just getting themselves a little bit more wave clear at this point in the game. Currently, I haven't really seen any successful connections from the teams, and through standard farming, We are seeing Slime gather a slight gold lead now in both mid lane and bot lane. And the plates are slowly getting tickled down as well. But no real threat to burst down the plates from a Nazir and Varus. It's just going to be very slow tickling down.
Ooh, stun lands.
Stun lands, but not in turret range. Gonna mostly be able to walk over most of the damage, but misses one of the abilities. Lands the ult, lands the Q afterwards. That massively chunks back the Xerath.
Yeah, let's take a look. Varus could look for a Q flash here, maybe.
That's just the first ability from the Xerath in defense. Just have a small wave here. Finds the arrows, but misses his Q. And gets a bit of a damage trade. Xerath again is back down on no mana. There's no ult available for Cody to try and punish in terms of CC setup. Xerath's going to sit in the turret, but does have TP available, so could look to use that instead. But Nazir also goes in for the Shuriken Shuffle in the mid lane, completely gets the Sion from under the teeth turret. It's slow, the Zion's going to pick up the wave, but it's probably not going to be able to run down the Azir.
Well, salt in the wound.
Doesn't quite kill. The stun again just slightly lands outside the turret range in return.
Yeah, Sion ulting and flashing to try to get out of the Azir wall, but still goes down. We're seeing a massive CS lead in the mid lane here because Azir has that demolished. Is about to get another plate.
Both mid laner and bot laner at 85 roughly CS now. And both lane opponents drastically falling behind. Only really the set right now in a good position in this matchup.
Yeah, and Set's definitely going to have problems trying to get onto the Azir and the Varus later. Barring he doesn't find an amazing ultimate to bring the Kenja into the two of them, it's going to be tough for Los Riddlers to fight moving forwards.
They are able to get a quick plate in mid, which gets them a little bit gold back, but Azir now has Nash's Tooth, and Varus has opportunity, so the burst damage from the Varus is going to start building up, and the Azir is going to start building up some more auto-attack damage, which means he might actually be able to pressure some turret damage properly now.
Yeah, also keep in mind that the Varus was able to hold on to the flash through all of that trading, so could look for a flash ultimate here.
With the opportunity, the burst does land and chunks. The Xerath sidesteps yet another ability. Takes a little bit of a hit. But we'll be happy with that trade. And with the state of the wave. Azir looking to get yet another demolished proc and the plate with the Nash's Tooth. Just gonna use E to get out of the range of the Sion as well.
Wow, those Qs are really starting to hurt.
Yeah, every single time that opportunity is available and the Q is fully charged up, we are seeing roughly a quarter of the health bar lost from the Xerath just by one landing.
Yeah, and based on how the Varus is playing this wave, I have to think he wants to dive here. Still has the flash ult and has the cleanse in case Xerath lands the stun. Let's see.
There's also not got a lot of mana left. This is that Q. Might not want to go for the dive this time around. But it's slowly just getting more and more plates as the time's going on with the auto-attack range advantage. The exact same situation is happening in mid. Slime are just going for the pure range advantage yet again, like we saw in some of their earlier matchups, and it's working out splendidly for them.
Might go for it now.
He also lands the Rain of Arrows. He has flash, but doesn't seem to want to flash for the ult.
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused as to why Varus didn't at least try to throw the ultimate. If it landed, he would have gotten the kill.
Might just be happy with the turret plating. Another Shuriken Shuffle coming out onto the Sion.
Oh my gosh, Sion made the exact same mistake again.
And with that Nash's Tooth, the auto attacks are going to keep going through. The Q's going to seal the deal, and the Azir's just going to walk out of range of the Sion and death. Xerath uses ult to clear out the wave, which is going to save the turret, but going to delay him getting back from the wave afterwards. Azir's also perfectly alone now. with the Demolish proc, might be able to get this turret before anyone can respond. The set's stuck up in this top wave with the Tom Kench and isn't really able to expand its advantage that we saw in the earlier phases of the lane. Raid does come out from the Xerath, however, that time around. And the Varus is now running out of mana and doesn't have TP yet again, so... Gonna be an awkward back timing potentially here for the Varus, but seems like the wave is gonna settle in the middle and Xerath's not gonna quickly step up to it. We will cancel the one back, so but he's gonna have to be a little bit careful. Now the Azir is going up to the top lane with the Tom Kench. The set stops his back. The Abyssal Dive doesn't quite land, and that's a play attempted, a play not successfully made, but it's gonna force the set to take a really unnecessary back, you might feel.
And also at some point we saw the Xerath die. Let's take a look at this replay. This was during that teleport play.
As does the poke as we saw, I'm guessing Xerath just steps into ult range, flash ult into the Q, lands a couple autos afterwards, and that was half of the health bar gone in one singular Q. Xerath just completely didn't expect the burst damage to come out there. That should be first turret, that should be Void Grubs as well, potentially coming out now. That does TP to the bot lane, so it might not be first turret with the Varus having no mana really left available. Try and get some plates in mid. The Tom Kench will rotate in to deny any more. Lion's taking some unnecessary turret shots here. Is now also caught completely in between the turrets. Uses flash as well. Doesn't have ult available. The flash follow from the Tom Kench. He's stacking up the passive hits as well. Zeus came over after finishing the Void Grubs, and that's just Sion caught in between two turrets. Trying to proxy unnecessarily in the mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, most Riddlers are just getting slow bled out. Every play that they've tried to go for has been completely stomped. We've been seeing a lot of mechanical misplays coming out from both the Xerath and the Sion. And now we have a 3.5k gold lead.
And the Xerath is forced to use its TP advantage as well after walking top.
Gotta say, much more controlled game coming out from Slime than we've seen from them in the past. A lot less plays being made. They're just kind of sticking to their own lanes this time, each getting their individual advantages.
They understand their range advantage and they're just making good use out of it. The Tom Kench tries to find the Xerath, but they don't successfully combine together. And Serena Shuffle now gone from the Azir.
Well, the Serena Shuffle was going to land, but then the Azir flash. So, play pretty good overall. Let's see, we might have another kill here.
Nice trade with the ult, giving a little bit of time. The shielding not enough, and the Q after landing takes out yet the set. After it does fall first in favor of the Sion, however. And without the Azir around, Sion might be able to get out of this alive, but this Tom Kench is still completely on top of the Sion. No ult or flash available for the Sion. Tom Kench has quite a heavy health advantage, and he's just gonna keep licking until the death comes down. And he's gonna try and deny the Sion from taking as much CS as available as possible as well. And Azir is just gonna walk at this turret and secure it. Expanding the gold lead even further is going to make the lane really short. And with just a couple quick hits after buying Soak Suits, you see the Xerath's health bar almost disappear. And with Set not having TP, no one's going to be really able to respond in the mid lane until the Sion comes back alive. And so you see the Varus come up and they're going to push this mid turret together. And with that Nash's Tooth, this turret is just going to be gone even with the wave cleared out.
Yeah, I don't think Xerath has used a single ultimate this game. That wasn't just to clear the wave. That should tell you about how much on the back foot they are. At the very least, able to get that first turret, so there will be no feats for Slime, but to be honest, I really don't think they need them.
Is it just seem to be wanting to roam topside? We might just go back to mid. Tom Kench, after getting some time against some of the other players, now seems much more comfortable in the matchup against the Set now.
Yeah, has the heart still going to be pretty tricky for Set to get the kill with just the Stride Breaker.
Also, the Cyan still hasn't even really built towards completing an item outright. Got many different items all at the same time. I know buying the magic resist might have been necessary against the Azir, but it's completely delayed that first item buy now.
Ooh, Stride Breaker misses, so no play.
To the Varus, but yeah. The Varus completely sidestepping most of the incoming damage. Tom Kench is right there if needed.
Yeah, Varus, no reason to be afraid of anything, has both the flash and the cleanse.
It's got half health. Just flash out the Stride Breaker. That now caught overextended. That damage does come out onto the Varus, but the E comes out from the Tom Kench, and that's just going to secure the kill.
Herald dropped mid lane.
Well. I'm gonna have to TP for this, but that's the second in a turret gone. Then the CC onto the Xerath, but gonna get the charge onto the mid lane. That's gonna have to use ult again to potentially clear the wave. Zed focuses the Azir initially, which means they're still gonna wait, but the Azir's gonna have to watch out here. Do get some nice poke landed. It places the turret down. And the Set's now TPing in as well. They might just be able to successfully run down the Tom Kench here. Fine doesn't have ult available though.
It looks like we're playing for a 3v3 here. Varus coming in from bot lane. This is really Los Riddler's last stand for this game. If this doesn't go well, they're gonna lose.
The Lick slows down the Set from catching up onto the Azir as well. The nice little Serema shuffle comes through. And that's the Cyan down. Varus needs to be careful here. The Stride Breaker misses yet again. It's cut out afterwards. Cleanses it. And it also hits the Q onto the Xerath. Let's get flashed by the Set, but the Azir should be able to outspace this with the Tom Kench blocking off the Set. And that might just be game.
Yeah, that should be game. Azir has the Demolish, so even if this turret does have a bit of health, yeah, it doesn't. I mean, it was going to go down anyway. And Azir with that Nashers will be able to take this inhibitor before the Scion respawns. Nice little 20-minute game one coming out from Slime. Los Riddler's going to have to go back to the drawing board. Maybe not enough playmaking tools, not enough firepower in lane to actually make it to that mid and late game.